What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we are moving pretty fast along on our 1965 Mustang. We're gonna do a little recap of everything we've done in the past couple of days. As you can see in the front, entire Cortex Racing front suspension is on the car. We are still waiting on some brakes, but we do have an unfortunate issue. We are trying to get some brakes from Willwood, but they have like an 8 to 12 week back order. And they are freaking sweet brakes. It's 6-piston with 14-inch rotors, which are sick. So I think what we might do for now is get some stock brakes up here in the front before we get the Willwood kit, because that's the worst thing that sucks about building cars up from the scratch. We should have had those brakes ordered a long time ago, but that's basically a recap in the front. Going on to the back, we went ahead and made the little trunk pan over here for the fuel tank. It's gonna sit in there just like that. There won't be much room for groceries in the back here, but that doesn't really matter because the only thing we need is cup holders for Red Bull. But I'm just kidding on that. But what I really want to focus on in today's video is go ahead and knock out all the bodywork in the car. As you guys remember, we did replace this entire roof panel, and we didn't do any of the bodywork. We pretty much just grinded it all down and epoxy coated the entire car, which a lot of people say is basically the right way to do bodywork on these older cars, because you basically don't want to put body filler straight on like a welded surface or just bare metal, which is, I mean, I usually do it on newer cars, but that's because there's no really rust or anything behind there. So I want to go ahead and start knocking out the bodywork here. And I think there is a couple of dents on the quarter panels, which is super minor considering the fact that these are original quarter panels on this car, which is absolutely, it's just crazy. I'm so happy that we didn't have any crazy issues with the quarter panels. And same thing with the rocker panels. Like, the only damage on the rocker panel is literally right here. It's like 2 dents. Usually these cars have rust all going down along the rocker panel, so we lucked out with that. So guys, later in the video, we also want to go ahead and do all the body work on the doors. As you can see, the door is sitting right here. I think there's a couple of dents on this door. I'm not too sure. I think there's one. Let's see. Maybe it's not. This is the passenger door. Oh, there's like a dent right here. I guess because these doors have been sitting for quite some time, over a year, I think, because that's whenever we bought the first Mustang, the OG Mustang that everybody talks about. A lot of people seem to get confused and say that I've cut up 3 Mustangs so far. This is actually the second Mustang, because I still have the entire fastback body. It's actually sitting on the side of the shop, and I do have some serious plans for that car, which I'll give you a little sneak peek. We're gonna build that car basically just like an OEM replica of a 65 Mustang. We're gonna go ahead and start knocking out all the body work on this car. As you guys know, we have a little bit of Bondo that we need here, there. We're not gonna be using actual Bondo. I'm about to show you guys what we're using in a second, but we don't really have that much body work to do on the car. A couple dents like on this quarter panel, super minor dents, nothing too big. And check it out, guys, we're gonna be using our Evercoat lightweight gold filler. This stuff is freaking awesome, and I think it's like 60 bucks a gallon, which is always better to just buy the more expensive stuff, because I know they do have like Bondo and like other body fillers for like 20 bucks, but this stuff is just so much better and stronger. Then we have our Durablock sanders. These things are sweet. Actually, these are the only sanding blocks I've ever used, and I actually love them a lot. We have our 80 grit sandpaper, 120. So the first thing we're gonna do is we need to actually spray guide coat down on this car, because we can't really see any of the dents just yet. So what we're gonna do is, I usually like to just go buy some super cheap, weak spray paint as guide coat, because guide coat costs a lot. It's like 25 bucks, and this stuff works exactly the same. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna coat the entire car with like a light black coat, and then once we sand it, it'll kind of imprint like the low spots and the high spots. So let's go ahead and give it a little painter's touch. So basically we just want to mist it on there. We don't want to put too much on there. So just like that, that's gonna be a perfect coat over everything. And I do like to get the cheaper stuff just because it's not as strong and it's gonna be a lot easier to sand. And then I'll show you guys in a second how nice it's gonna be for finding all the dents and stuff. So guys, we went ahead and laid down the guide coat, and unfortunately we went to O'Reilly's and they are out of respirators. I don't know why, so we actually got these cheaper ones, and we are gonna just be running this fan right here. It's gonna just be blowing all the body filler dust so it doesn't get on our noses and stuff. But I think this stuff is ready to go. As you can see, we threw a light coat, so we're gonna go ahead and grab a sandpaper, I think like a 180 grit, and a block, and go ahead and show you guys how we're gonna do this. We did invest in some nice. Are you
using gloves today? What? That's a first. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, there's a glove.
Look, you cannot keep them on.
They just keep my hands are just so strong. They rip through.
Everyone who's watching, I always do remind him and tell him, but he just takes it off.
You have to understand. You have to understand. You know, when your hands get impacted so much by grinding sparks, they get stronger and stronger. One day I'll be able to punch through metal. Yeah. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and grab this sanding block right here. Throw a 180 on there. There it is, just like that. All right, guys, let's get to sanding. So guys, check it out. We did a little bit of sanding on the quarter panel, and you can already see some of the low spots that we have right here. Basically what's happening is this area is getting sanded and this area isn't. So I'm gonna grab the body hammer and tap it out ever so slightly, and then we can hit it back over with the sanding block, and hopefully it starts smoothing it out. It's not that big of a dent, but you would never have noticed it was there, but until we put the guide coat on there and blocked it out, now you can see it. So let's go ahead and do a little tapping it out and see how good we can get it out. So guys, we got all the areas that need body filler all sanded down. I also went ahead and hit it with the 80 grit. And as you can see, even with the 80 grit, it's tough to get that primer off, meaning that primer had a really good adhesion to the sandblasted surface, which I'm happy about. And also down here, we went ahead and sanded all this up. This is where that lead patch was, and you can't put body filler right over lead, so that'll be fine. And you can see right here, we got everything tapped out. So we're gonna throw a light coat of body filler on this side, and then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and this car will be ready for another coat of primer. It's the first gallon of body filler we've bought at this shop, and bam. That's how you know it's good filler. If it's not separated, if there's not a lot of juice at the top, that's how you know you got some good filler. Because those cheap fillers, you'll see it separate, and you have to mix it for hours just to get the right consistency, but this stuff looks good. We've actually used this on a lot of projects already. Wait, where's my gloves at? The things just disappear. They just disappear.
Put them on and they're just gone. Wait, they were gone the first second.
No, they were there, and I'm telling you, my hands just... They need gloves, but you know. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, they're all ripped up and stuff.
Yeah, so first coat, we're going to do a nice skim coat. And then we do actually need to go ahead and wax and grease remove everything. Let me go grab a rag. We got the wax and grease remover. Got to get all these panels nice and clean because we want a nice adhesion. Stuff right here. This will not get rid of.
Where are your gloves at? I remind you again.
Oh yeah, look at that. Nice clean surface all through up in there. Dude, I'm pretty surprised how this quarter panel doesn't really have any damage on it. Like all this other little stuff, that will just get blocked out in the second coat of primer. We got the Miracle Juice right here. Oh, we need to mix it. We need to mix the juice. Give it a nice, generous. You know, sometimes you put a little more because, I mean, it's always better to let it dry faster than not dry at all. Because I've had it where it just doesn't dry and you're just scraping hundreds of dollars worth of product off. And then I like to mix it a little bit with the stick, you know, just get everything in there. And then, yo, where's my gloves at?
I'm not even going to remind you. Don't
What if I get some rubberized paint sealer and I just paint gloves on and they're permanent? And just replace them.
Oh, like that video. You remember see that video on TikTok? He put, what did he put on him? It was like that.
Oh, the Hydro Dip?
Yeah.
No, I was actually thinking of a spray on gloves a long time ago when I was like 15. It was a theory. Imagine how cool that would be. Like a super thin layer, like super strong latex. You paint onto your hand. And then you put it in special. Alright, maybe that's.
I mean, I know you're special, but I don't know you're that kind of special.
See, that's all that's going to need is just one nice skim coat, and that's it. So guys, we got the driver's side all in body filler. Now what we're gonna do is basically go ahead and just replicate everything we did on this side on the passenger side. So guys, we got both sides all in body filler. This side needed a little bit more body filler over here, but the quarter panel didn't really need that much. We had a little dent right there. We actually beat everything out. The cool thing about this quarter panel is you can literally get in everywhere from the back. And also, as you guys know, the wheel arch was a little bit damaged, so we put a little bit of filler on there. It still needs time to dry up. So now what we're gonna do is just basically go ahead and just start sanding everything, and we'll catch you guys when it's done. So guys, check it out. We got all the body work done on the Mustang, and man, it turned out pretty good. As you can see, it kind of does look like there's a lot of filler on here, but really it was 2 coats of body filler, which we sanded probably like 80% of it off, and then 1 nice thin coat of glaze and made it all smooth. Everything lined up pretty good. And man, I love how the drip rail delete came out over there. And bam, we got this quarter panel little dent right there that we fixed. And then we also went ahead, and there was a seam right here. So what I did was, off camera, I just went ahead and tack welded it together, grinded it down, and actually put some panel bond down on there. And then we put some body filler over there, so it kind of just deleted it because it was really ugly. It was like a little crack that goes right through here. And I think everybody should do that if they own a Mustang. And then my brother Mark from Motorhead, he actually knocked out this side right here. There was a little bit of more body work to do on this side, which we had the little wheel arch to do right here, but everything looks freaking beautiful. And now what we're gonna do is we're basically only gonna prime the body filled areas. I wanna just prime like probably a little bit like this. I'm not gonna prime the entire panel just yet. What I wanna do is when I prime just these bodywork areas, we're gonna prime it and then let that dry up. And then we're gonna block everything out really good, and then we'll throw another fresh coat of primer over the entire car, just so we're not putting too much primer on the non-blocked areas. But man, it's looking good. I'm still surprised at how good these quarter panels are on this car. I remember my blue Mustang, that thing had like this much Bondo throughout the entire quarter panel. I think it was sliced in the center, sliced down the middle. Well, I sliced it down the middle, but the quarter panel was also sliced somewhere in there. But guys, it is ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and start. Me and Mark are gonna go ahead and wipe everything down, get some primer mixed up, and get everything sprayed in. So guys, check it out. It looks freaking amazing. Big shout out to my brother Mark from Motorhead. Make sure you guys check out his channel. Show him some love too, because he always comes over here and helps me out with my projects. And man, it turned out awesome. We got this entire side done. Drip tray delete turned out amazing. Also, just it looks fabulous. And honestly, guys, we're probably not going to be doing any sanding until we get the car running, because I don't want to sand it. Because once you sand it, you really want to get it painted within a week of sanding everything. So we're probably just going to let it chill in primer for now. And basically in the next episode, we're going to go ahead and start putting the engine in. I did also get the coilovers. Let me show you guys a little sneak peek of the coilovers. Check these bad boys out. These are the front coilovers for the front. And I think we do have to do a little bit of modification right here, because this hole right here probably just needs to be just rounded out like that, because they don't fit in there. But man, check these things out. These are from QA1, made in USA, double adjustable. These are some beefy coilovers, and we do have 4 of them, 2 for the front and 2 for the rear, which is gonna be super cool. And I think I do have a lead on a passenger side fender and a rear 9-inch for the back. A lot of you guys were asking, what are we gonna do with the rear end? We're gonna get rid of this one. As you guys know, this is I don't know what kind of rear end it is, but it is small and it's weak, and we do need to upgrade it, and we do not want drum brakes in the back. As you can see, it does already have coilovers on it, but we are going to be adding the other ones. And man, I just can't wait to start working on the back of this car, because the front is pretty much all done. We'll put the coilovers on, and I'm still not sure what we're going to do with the brake setup. Maybe just go with stock brakes from a Mustang GT. I think they'll do perfectly fine until we can wait until the Willwoods come in. But guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We got a lot of work done on the car. Finally, all the body work on the car is complete. Everything looks good. Now it's basically just time to start assembling this car and getting this car running and driving, and then we'll start figuring out what we're gonna do with the interior. But if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also drop a like if you haven't already, and check out vTuned on Instagram. We do post a lot of sneak peeks on there. And if you want to support the channel, head over to vTuned.com and copy something. Thanks for watching.